I'm currently in the conceptualization stage of a video exhibition that will take a critical look into both the planned closing of the Rose Art Museum, but also the broader implications of art and economics, as well as the reaction the announcement and the subsequent release statements had on the student, faculty, and alumni bodies. Immediately, I want to try to put aside any pre-established notions of partisanship in the situation, either in the data collection or in the exhibition. Our interviews will be from across the political spectrum and hopefully capture many opinions and recounts of the planned closing of the Rose Art Museum and the reactions to it. We want to talk to everyone, particularly the relevant individuals who occupy positions of power in the decision and knowledge-making process. The questions asked will be simple, direct, and universal. There will be no verbal narrative in any exhibition of the footage, so as to leave it unfettered, open to external interpretation, and to separate this project from a traditional documentary film as we may know it. There will not be a single feature, one video. Rather, the footage will be divided, based upon criteria developed during filming and production, into multiple segments. The number of different segments will depend both upon theme and the nature and mass of data we collect. I plan and hope to capture The way that we choose to go about matching the interviews will be a difficult process because essentially we could be inserting narration through our very choices, and we will be. However, we don't want to taint the narrative to advocate one side or the other. While my position on the subject is clear, as are the people in the group, we want to present people with the opportunity to essentially make up their own mind. One of the reasons I feel so strongly about people being able to take what they want out of what they see here in the exhibition is simply because of the taint that has been put onto the proceedings by the presence of an external public relations team. One of the ways that I hope to be able to present some form of objectivity in the presentation is what I would call reflexive sequencing, which would be a method to help us let the footage speak for itself. I'm going to say reflective sequencing means matching potentially contradicting statements and escalating the dialogue through editing and trimming, making it seem as if the subjects are actually having some sort of abstracted conversation. This method would compel the viewer to take a side. This can be effective, but if not used properly, will cast a binary taint during the consumption. We want to make sure that we aren't robbing the audience of their opinions, but helping them expand their knowledge base. As of right now, I see 4 potential ways to exhibit the footage that we gather. First, as a sequence of films that would be presented essentially as 6 chapters of a larger documentary. This would be shown in one sitting. Second, the film would have its life on YouTube, divided up into video segments. Perhaps we could even keep extended sections of interview that didn't make the initial cut. Third would be a dedicated website, set up essentially as a white wall gallery in which we would place each of the videos in relationship to each other, complete with hyperlinked quote-unquote wall text that would help the viewer expand their knowledge past the presentation. Finally, I would like a physical exhibition as well, composed of 6 monitors set up in a circle, the red X here representing the viewer standing in the center. Headphones will be attached to each monitor and the video segment will be set on continuous repeat. By placing the viewer in the center, I hope to convey both a sense of immersion and anxiety, as initially all the videos playing simultaneously can and should be overwhelming. The headphones keep each of the audio contained, as the cacophony of overlapping voices may come off as muddled and overly confusing. The viewer then, with no guidance as to a particular sequence, must choose where to start, logically making their way around the circle. Each individual video will contain only 2 interviews, and each video should not exceed 5 minutes in length. The brevity is practical. I can't imagine anyone's attention being held for an excessively long interview. Perhaps the full interviews can be posted directly to YouTube using the site as a sort of alternative archive for the exhibition. Together, the rest of the group and myself will determine who best to interview, the best way to sequence them, and the best modes of presentation. But I feel that using video with this alternating structure would be the most efficient way to hit multiple medium with the same content.